Hey guys, welcome to the Convo couch. Today we've got Ello and Andrej from Dream Cities. Thank you for coming on.
Our pleasure, thanks.
Thank you.
I met the two musicians who aren't here, Alex and Mike, in high school. We bonded over our mutual love of rock. That music helped us get through that sort of hormonal teenage period. Mike was a couple of years above us, and I looked up at him like this, incredible musician. And we spent years, while we were kind of, getting our uni degrees and stuff like that, auditioning vocalists. We had a classic conventional big frontman vocalist in mind, right? And we just couldn't find anybody to work with. So we were kind of drawing on one hand, kind of our, certain kinds of dance and electronic music that we liked. So really great, producers like Burial or Fortet. Nicholas Jar as well kind of brings in a lot of kind of world music and interesting samples and stuff like that. So that was we were just trying to be a groovy three-piece, knowing that we had just this one big chunk missing that we just couldn't find.
A lot of my background is hip-hop based. I've been a rapper since maybe 11, 12 years old. But then, I got to a stage in my maturity where I started appreciating a lot of different music. I went to go watch them play at the Red Rattler. Amazing show. It was really nice to get a shout out from Andrej. Felt very special. And a couple of months later, I go to this party that Elloso was hosting, and he pulls me aside and he takes me to his studio space, and he just starts playing me all these different sort of demos and records that the band was working on. I was blown away. I was just like, wow, this here is something that I've never heard before. And then all of a sudden I started trying to freestyle, which was just fun, playing around, just, seeing what I could do on the instrumentals. And he really was feeling what I was saying, and he was like, look, I'll email you this record and see if you can do anything to it. I'm recording demos, vocal demos over the instrumentals that they had. And then from there, he kind of just sends it over to Andrej and Mike. And it's like, look, this dude is just laying some vocals over our instrumental. This could really be something. So the next thing you know, we have this performance together where they're going to debut me as their vocalist. And thus Dream Cities is here. It's complete now, where we have Mike, solo, Andrej and I.
Hip-hop is so rhythm focused. DJs splicing up old kind of funk records or whatever it is. It's very much about the bass and the drums, and so a lot of our music was kind of riff focused, hook focused, and about the groove. It makes sense now, but at the time we were quite shocked, well, this is really grooving, this is really suitable for a rapper. I started listening to a lot more hip-hop. Ello got into, Sabbath and Soundgarden, and so then we started, we hope to kind of somehow, it's tough, but bring those two kind of worlds together.
Man, everybody's nobody.
So the album title itself, Everybody's Nobody, basically taken from True Detective season 1, right? So that's it's a popular TV series, and there's a particular famous monologue spoken by what's the actor's name? Rusty Cole's the character.
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey. It's a really powerful monologue, and talking about, where do we fit into this whole thing called life? Are we just these sort of kind of dumb, meaningless little ants, creatures crawling on a planet, or is there something a bit more substantial to it? And I guess as artists, that's what we think about. That's what the music is reflecting. One of the things that sort of I don't totally vibe with about Western culture in this particular time frame is a bit too much of a kind of focus on things like image, status, power, celebrity, that kind of stuff. People kind of gravitate to that. They can gravitate to that to, kind of ease those sort of those kind of dark thoughts and doubts that sort of everybody has that kind of lurk underneath the sort of the facade that you put around to people, Title of our album is just look, we're all just sort of nobody, we're all just sort of trying to do our own thing, but that's the commonality between everyone too. At the same time, shedding light and conquering some of those doubts, and to kind of just step into yourself and step into your own power. both of us, you know, as people and as artists, we were sort of kind of like struggling to make sense of where we're kind of at. We were both in our respective like Saturn returns, you know. It's sort of like that period of like your life where it's like you kind of have to, well, some people don't, I guess, but like you've got an option to kind of like stop fucking around and maybe partying as much and sort of like, you know, wasting your time a bit and sort of start thinking about like, well, who am I and what do I want to do with myself? The band, the original 3-piece unit, and then Ello here, like we kind of helped one another reinvent ourselves, you know, and so there's some tough sort of like looking at yourself in the mirror kind of stuff going on lyrically on that album, being real about your shortcomings and your flaws and some of the sort of like stuff that like you haven't wanted to look at for a long time.
Yeah. And with the arrangement of music as well, it's like, as you've heard before, it is a mashup, but we didn't want to make it more of a direct, like, okay, they're going to play some rock stuff and I'm going to jump in and rap on it. It was kind of like we were putting together certain combinations of guitar, bass, electronics and drums, all fitting into sort of fit the concept of the record, and not just make it one of those like mix-ups where it's just rapping over a rock beat.
Probably less is more, you know, like I think we were, and it's a good problem to have when you have so many things that you want to do. The reason why we're excited about what we're kind of working on right now is we seem to be getting that balance a bit better. You know, we're definitely, you know, working with the sort of less is more mantra in mind. There's still a lot, you know, we're an eclectic band. We listen to a lot of different music, like, and I think, you know, Ello's listening to a lot more stuff and being inspired by a lot more stuff. And then even like, you know, I mean, on my end, I find that like it's often non-musical things that feed into like my musical. Yeah. So like, you know, whether it's like a good TV or film or novels or something like that, or even visual art, you know, often that moves me to kind of like express myself musically. You know, we're hoping that with a bit more discipline, that the forthcoming material will kind of like connect with people a bit more.
It's even more balanced than the first one.
Yeah.
I must say.
So, you know, like the first one, it's like there's like punk and there's metal and there's jazz and hip hop and rap and a bit of classical. And it's like, it's a bit of a mess. Like I think it's a kind of beautiful mess.
How do you feel it's like fitting into a band now? I mean, you used to be solo and...
Oh man, like it's different. Like the first time we ever performed in front of people, it was at a annual event called Love Fest, run by one of the band's friends who I met through that. And I think the first time I ever performed, I was nervous. I don't know. I guess being a hip hop artist going into a situation like this, it's kind of just taken me to a totally different like perspective on creativity, on life, on appreciation for sound and artistic expression.
The whole culture of hip hop is about doing things that, you know, breaking the rules and stuff. You know, like whether it's like something, you know, like a DJ scratching a record, you know, at some point that was just like they were just trying to go from side A to side B, and then they put the stylo on, and then they made a mistake, but then someone was like, that was kind of cool, like what if I do that? We were having the most fun when like we were really like pushing Ello, like, and so we had a couple of songs that were really like kind of like club tracks or something, like that were really just about like, we hope this gets women dancing, you know. And he was just like, I don't know if I can do it, bro. Like
I'm gonna need some time.
I don't know if you know the birds like be into my kind of thing. You know? Sorry, it sounds tacky. Like I'm like a uni educated northern baby. So like, when I ever try to I try to pick up a few things from Ello, so it doesn't.
No, I love it.
But I mean, like, and now on the new stuff that we're working on, like Ello's really amping up the kind of more kind of melodic stuff. You know, it's not just about like a rap hook.
Yeah.
He's really trying to take the initiative on the vocal side of things, because I think, you know, in rap and hip hop, they've often had to bring in like guest artists or like, you know, female vocalists or what have you to like kind of to carry that chorus hook and interest and build up to it.
Very
you know, something like Stan or whatever, you know. We're going to be doing a bit more of that actually, like, and that's also pretty exciting. We've got a kind of couple of people that we'd like to kind of bring on board as well. But Ello is just really growing into that kind of like, he's like, nah, I got this. And I remember like, you know, like it was yesterday when like he'd be coming in and he'd be like, yo, I don't know if I can do this. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, you know, like we'll just be hanging out, like having like band pizza or something. And then he'll be like, oh, you know, like back in the day, man, like, you know, like when I finished my shift at Domino's or whatever, it's like I'd get like a couple $100 to like be the like hype man at a club.
Yeah.
And I was like, so you're telling me you've already done this?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is wrong with you, bro? Like, come on. And then he's like, okay. And he'd, you know, kind of come in. And then we were just like floored. We're like, oh my God, like this is exactly what it needed. You know, there's just...
I needed that. You need that push. You know, you need those people to be like, hey, like sort of, you can do it. Like you're overthinking. You need to stop. You need to breathe and take in what's going on, and not be afraid to fail. But at the same time, like just embrace everything that you're learning through this. Hip hop and rap will always be like the centerpiece of my life. But at the same time, I've found a way to bring that energy into Dream Cities.
Damn, Peter.
I'd like to think
Bring that question back 20 minutes later. No. Look, I don't know if I don't think there's really quite such thing as genreless, but I think like, you know, we're living in like a global village. I remember like Flea, the bassist from the Chili Peppers, like going to Nigeria to listen to Afrobeat, like home of Afrobeat. And it's like, doesn't matter if you're a white boy, you know, it's like when you hear good music, it just like, it doesn't matter who you are. It's like everyone just like, they just feel that groove, they hear the melodies, like, or they appreciate the craft. We're still, just trying to do our own thing and like make that kind of like mashup of different sorts of genres work.
Yeah, everything's so sub-genre, I guess, these days as well. So you have like the main genre, which is like hip hop, and then under the hip hop umbrella, you have alternative hip hop, you have rap rock, you know what I mean? And then from rock as well, you have indie rock, you have all these different subgenres, and it's just coming down to really just a bunch of different genres mashing.
Have you heard of baby metal?
Baby metal?
Yeah, we have, yeah.
What's that?
Oh, dude. How do you...
What is that? Baby metal.
Alright, Dream Cities
Reaction to... Yeah, Dream Cities reacts to baby metal.
Very nice.
Dude.
Well, it's got 1.4.
This is the first time I'm ever seeing this, so you're gonna get a very organic reaction from
Okay,
me.
zoom in on his face.
It reminds me of an manga or anime fight scene style music.
We can stop anytime too, guys.
Yeah,
No, keep it rolling. Look, while we're in this rabbit hole, man, just keep it going.
Yeah.
Like, look at that shit, man.
Yeah. A little breakdown. Eases it out.
I don't know how much of this is live.
Oh, so you don't think it's live?
I'm trying to work it out. I don't know.
It feels
There's
live.
definitely, if there's like a backing track,
Has to be, I mean...
like I just can't see the band enough. Like,
Yeah, they're like the people in the skeleton costumes, right?
You're not showing guitars.
yeah. Why aren't they... See, this is where obviously I'm personally offended by the fact that there's this crazy shred solo. And then they use that for like, no, let's focus on the choreography. It's like, give me a break.
The presentations, you know?
Oh, God bless them. They're awesome.
Yeah.
But it's like, it is kind of still bent. Like, I don't know.
We did alright.
Hey,
Yeah,
look,
we,
if you-
we respect
we'll
that.
work
Yeah,
with
that's
them,
cool.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
you open
If
to
there's ever a chance, yeah,
We'll
we'll
work with
rock out,
anybody.
man.